Hello Year 8, thank you for coming to find out about GCSE music. I'll just talk you through some of the expectations and the types of things that you'd be expected to do as part of your GCSE if you were to choose it. So there are three main assessments that are assessing Year 11, and the first of those is called an integrated portfolio. Okay, and that involves one performance and one free choice composition. So one piece of music that you've played on an instrument, whatever instrument you might choose to use for the course, and a piece of music that you have composed, so you've created yourself. Okay, the second portfolio that you'll have to submit is something called a practical portfolio. That also involves a performance, but this time it's as an ensemble, so a performance as part of a group. Okay. You also have to compose for this one, but instead of being a free choice like the integrated portfolio, the practical portfolio needs a composition that's a set brief composition. So it's using things that are chosen from a list provided by the exam board. Okay. The integrated portfolio and the practical portfolio together makes 60% of the course, and that's all coursework. So that will all have been submitted before you even step into the exam at the end of Year 11. You'll have a listening exam, that's worth 40% of the course, and there are 4 areas of study there that you can see in the table, and I'll talk you through those in a little bit more detail. So we have the Concerto Through Time, which involves kind of more classical, traditional music in the Baroque, classical and Romantic period, so between 1600s all the way up to the 1900s. Then we have Rhythms of the World, which involves learning about music from lots of different cultures, lots of different countries. So we look at music from Brazil, India, Africa, the Caribbean and Eastern Mediterranean and the Middle East. We also look at music for film, which is a couple of different things, angles that we have to look at it from. So we look at music that has been composed specifically for use in a film, classical music that's been used for films for whatever reason, and music that's been composed as a soundtrack for a video game. We also look at conventions of pop, which involves rock and roll from the 50s and 60s, rock anthems from the 70s and 80s, pop ballads from the 70s, 80s and 90s, and solo artists from the 90s to the present day. So there's lots in there, there's loads to do, but there's definitely something for everybody. I'm going to talk you through some frequently asked questions that I get when people are choosing their options. The first of those questions is usually, can I only take GCSE music if I already play an instrument? The short answer to that is no. You can still take it if you don't already play an instrument, but if you can play or sing the melodies that we do in class accurately and fluently, then that's an indicator that you should be okay with the level of performance that you'll need to submit as part of GCSE. Okay, so if you're somebody who does really well in class and can play all the melodies that I give you, you can maybe add extra layers to those melodies, or if you can sing melodies as well, then you should be absolutely fine. But you must be willing to work hard and practice outside the lessons to make sure that your coursework will be of a good enough standard when we get to it. Another question that I get asked is, can I choose music if I'm not already confident with reading music? The answer to that is yes, because we learn how to read music in Key Stage 3, and we will just keep topping up this knowledge as we go through the course, because you'll need notation skills for at least one question in the exam, and you'll also potentially need to read music in order to make your compositions, okay, so to write your pieces of music. How long would I have to perform for? So as I said before, you have to do 2 separate performances, but they have to add together to make 4 minutes. So it's not 2 4-minute performances, it's 2 pieces added together to make a minimum of 4 minutes. So there's no upper limit. I mean, probably don't do some sort of 20-minute recital or anything like that, but as long as it's at least 4 minutes, that's absolutely fine. You also don't have to perform in front of a huge audience either. I mean, you can if you want to, you're more than welcome to, but it could just be you and I in the classroom recording it, or maybe you would want to do it in front of a small group of friends. It really is down to you how you would want to do those performances. How much composing do I have to do? Your two compositions, so your one from the integrated portfolio and your composition from the practical portfolio, must add together to make at least 3 minutes. And again, there's no upper limit. So if you go over 3 minutes, that's not a problem at all. Okay. So hopefully that answers some of the questions that you might have. If you have any other questions, or if you just want to have a chat about it, if you need any more information, then please feel free to email me, and I'll be more than happy to help.